Okay, we're moving on. Moving on.
Deep sigh.
All right. Okay, look, so we have two other topics coming up here. We have Netflix's Nimona, and then we're going to get to the Ahsoka trailer towards the end of the show. I do want to start this kind of conversation off by, because we have not physically mentioned it, it's on screen talking about the strikes that are currently happening. WGA, the SAG, everything going on with fair pay and better work environments and everything like that. It's on the screen, but I'll just say it, and everyone can kind of step in as they, as we go about this. But we are 100% behind everything that is currently happening, and we believe in what they are doing. And if we could be on the picket lines ourselves, we'd be out there with them. And for however long it takes, we're with them. And I will say regarding why we are talking about things and our decision behind things, because it's so iffy and interesting and kind of where we stand. I don't think any of us have ever had a thought about joining SAG itself, which is what kind of where the line gets drawn, which is why we are still going to be here talking about things, whether it's current, past, future, obviously Nimona and then Ahsoka. But we also kind of believe in celebrating this stuff and talking about it. And that's kind of why we're here doing this. And that's kind of what brought us all together in the first place. So I don't know if any of you guys have anything that you would like to say as well on top of that.
It's just been such a mess, like in the creator space online, because I think everyone's just kind of confused by it, and everyone's taking a stand or not taking whatever. But like, I think during this whole time, it's a good time to just be kind to each other as content creators. Like when it comes down to it, if you're a non-member of SAG-AFTRA and you never plan to be, none of it applies to you. But you still want to be supportive and you want to talk about the strike and I forget what the fundraiser was called for it. I'm gonna look that up. But anyways, yeah, I've seen a lot of people just being kind of mean to each other about it, and just be chill about it and support the strike.
We're just here to talk about stuff we like with our friends.
Yeah.
That's literally,
no scabs here.
Yeah, we're not trying to be the next set of influencers. No, we're just here to talk with you guys as friends and talk about our nerdy shit that we like.
Right. And I think, for this show, by talking about what we would normally talk about, we're not trying to get a leg up because other people are choosing not to talk about it, if that makes sense. We're just doing what we've always been doing. So
yeah, it's our chance to talk about it with everybody watching. So
God.
But yeah.
What?
No. Fine.
All right, well, let's move forward. Let's talk about Nimona. We do have a super chat that kind of started this conversation off. So Mike K, thank you so much for the super chat. So happy you guys checked out Nimona. It's one of my favorite movies of the year and the best animated alongside Spider-Verse.
I don't disagree.
First, before we go, if you don't want anything spoiled,
I was gonna say, should we do I think we should do a spoiler-free.
We can kind of give our thoughts without spoiling anything,
yeah.
because I think that's an easy conversation to have without spoiling
anything. Because I wanted to more influence people to see it.
Because I definitely think
we
it's
want
one
to
that's going to go
Molly
unnoticed.
Damon bullied us into watching.
She did.
Yeah.
It
was,
Molly, why don't you start it off, because you did bully the three of us into watching it.
It wasn't even suggestive. It was straight bullying.
I was like, this movie said trans rights, and you all have to watch it right now, or you're all homophobes.
Yeah.
No, it was just like it took me by surprise how good it was and how different the story was. I don't know.
How did you find it?
So
did it just come across, or
I just
you
saw
never told us.
Other people talking about it on
all my
on
animation
Twitter.
friends were talking about it on Twitter.
Yeah. So I just word of mouth kind of heard about it. Also, Riz Ahmed does the voice
love Riz
for
so much.
One of the main characters, and he plays Bodhi in Star Wars. So that was probably what put it on my radar too.
Awfully similar name too, by the way.
Yeah.
Wait, what was his name?
Well, his short name was Bao.
Oh.
but it was just really, really cute, and I thought it had a great message, and I've never seen a movie, an animated film like this just get so real with the characters and talk about issues that are very relevant right now. I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, it was mind-blowingly good and a quick watch. It was like an hour and a half.
It's an hour and a half. It's so good.
Well, it was greatly paced, which is
it didn't feel slow and it didn't feel rushed.
Like everything just kind of moved, and it wasn't a story that needed like 3 days to tell as far as in that side of that world. It was a very quick story. I will say, and I want to talk about like the stories and the characters and everything, but I was fascinated by the world.
I was going to talk about the world. The world is so cool.
The world building. I don't know if we've ever seen
modern day Renaissance.
Yeah, like it was sci-fi Renaissance. Essentially, is what it was.
Sci-fi Renaissance. It's so cool.
They put everything in 100 years in the future with how things are. Like I'll use an example of they put something like, I'll just use two of my favorite movies. They put Gladiator in the world of Star Trek.
Yes.
Like that's what it felt like.
Similar
is
vibes, yeah.
Laser guns and ships, but they're still wearing or maybe even Game of Thrones in Star Trek. That might be a better way of saying it. The armor with the swords, and it's still about knights and fighting monsters and dragons, but you're in a world where you have phaser guns and flying ships and big cities, and it was super cool to see kind of how they made everything happen, because everyone was still operating like it was Renaissance, but they had these big.
They're watching it on their TVs.
Yeah, like they're
watching it down from their televisions. Yeah,
I love the way that they just kind of built the world out, and I will say, just quickly, I am obsessed with the animation style. I love.
It was cool.
Yes.
Love the animation style with the colors and the choices they made with the looks and how they kind of moved and did everything.
It was like Spider-Verse met Arcane met.
Yeah, it was
Dragon
super cool.
Prince.
Super cool.
Yeah. It's very cool.
Did anyone else get vibes of what's that place in Avatar? Bossing Say.
Bossing Say.
Oh,
like there is no war in Bossing Say.
Yeah.
Jake, I don't think you've been to Bossing Say yet.
I'm at the beginning of season 2. So
okay,
so you're almost at Bossing Say.
You'll get there, but just the way the world was when it's like inside that big wall, basically, it was very similar to that.
I had never even heard of this damn thing until Molly forced us to watch it, and in the chat was like, bah, 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 bah. It was great. Like, I'm like, it came out of nowhere. I didn't see any advertising for it.
No.
At all.
I saw it on Netflix, but I didn't see it outside of Netflix.
No.
Yeah. So,
it just kind of dropped.
Yeah, so it's funny because Netflix puts out good animation.
Their animation is I've never been let down by any of Netflix's.
Because they did Klaus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So like, I mean, those two alone. Klaus is
They did Klaus, they did Arcane, they did Dragon Prince, they did Nimona. They did every animated anything I've seen that's been a Netflix original, I have not been disappointed.
They did the Sea Beast, which was
I didn't see that, but I heard that was good.
Yeah.
Well, it's very funny to me because it seems like their I don't know the numbers on things, but it seems their animation is doing great, and you would think like start tapping into that market because you're doing good, but
they do a lot of animation series as well, like actual shows.
She-Ra,
Castlevania, Love, Death and Robots, the Dragon Prince.
Dragon Prince is great.
There's Arcane, obviously. There's a lot.
Did Netflix do the Cyberpunk anime too? Was that a Netflix original?
I can't remember if
Netflix just
I don't see it on here.
That's Mitchell's versus the Machines. Duh.
Yeah, Mitchell's versus the Machines. They just dropped Skull Island as well. They did the He-Man series. They do a lot of good animation stuff.
Yeah,
Like adult animation too.
Mm-hmm. I think
Sorry,
Nimona.
Brian,
I think
No.
Nimona definitely slipped under the radar, but I'm hoping it gets nominated for some stuff. Cause
I hope so too.
I did see critics talking about it, so I think by word of mouth, a lot of people heard it was really good and went for it.
I loved and adored. Well, there's a lot of stuff I like. One of my favorite character tropes is like kind of shy, protective father type figure with like this super crazy, all over the place child, which this has, and I love that because that's such a fun dynamic. And also the representation in it is amazing because it's not the main part of the story. They just happen to be LGBTQ characters, and that's not the point of the story, which I also really like.
Did you guys immediately go RuPaul?
No, I didn't until the credits.
How did you guys not? I literally was like sitting there and I went, that's RuPaul.
I was like looking
until the credits.
I was looking at the voice cast like right when I heard the voice, so I saw RuPaul's name on there already, and I was like, "Oh, that's perfect."
Yeah. I didn't get it until the credits. But I also didn't realize that Golden, what's his name, was Eugene from. Ambrosius. Yeah. Golden Loin or something.
Yeah.
Golden Loin.
Yeah.
So fun fact about this. This was originally supposed to release in 2022, but Disney shut down Blue Sky Studios in 21, and it was canceled. And then Netflix got the rights to it, and it released. It actually did have a theatrical release, just limited, and it made its world premiere at the Annecy International Animation Film Festival in June.
I'm kind of glad Disney lost it because they probably would have gotten rid of it.
I was going to say it probably ended up in better hands.
Yeah.
Because I also think Netflix was obviously able to take it a little bit more adult, which is probably better for the property.
Yes.
Yeah. And I guarantee you those characters wouldn't have been boyfriends.
No. If it was still Disney, no.
Did anyone see Spies in Disguise? Because the directors did that.
The Will Smith one? No.
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. No.
One of the directors did Enchanted.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, it's not that Rotten Tomatoes is the say-all be-all. It's got 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, though.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it says a lot for an animated film, though.
Yeah, with this amount of representation in it, too.
Yeah.
People easily pooping on stuff like that. I enjoyed it. Even with Molly making me scared to not like it.
Better like it.
Sean liked it.
Oh, Sean watched it too?
Sean liked it. Yeah.
I didn't mean to bully you guys that hard.
It didn't take a lot to convince me.
All right. I figured you guys had heard about it already just because I saw a lot of people talking about it.
I heard nothing, and it was quite lovely. And like Jake said, was Jake that you said it? It was like a quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like it did not seem like an hour and a half. Like it was it never stopped a pace.
Yeah.
Like stuff was constantly happening the whole time.
Me and Alex were like bawling towards the end.
Oh my god, the ending.
Yeah. Ending was surprising.
Like full on crying.
Do you guys expect to see another?
Yeah. Something.
Yeah.
Something.
I think something. Maybe at least something in that world.
Maybe because they could go explore outside of things.
And it was very twisty. I did not see certain things coming.
Yeah.
Twisty twist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm curious, Brian, because I kind of predicted something towards the beginning that ended up happening. Not that it hurt the movie for me, but
I'll put it in the private chat.
So just a little backstory for anybody who may not know what we're talking about or is interested in this. It's based on a graphic novel, a young adult graphic novel, and it was created, by N.D. Stevenson when he was at the Maryland Institute College of Art. And he received an assignment to create a brand new character and revisited an idea from high school of a female shapeshifter. And the brand of Nimona was born. And that was in like 2012-ish. and it looks like it was published in 2015 in all kinds of different languages, an audiobook, and then obviously now we are here to an actual project film version. So pretty cool little story here.
It's surprising to me, like how people or studios, I should say, haven't noticed really that maybe they're slowly starting to, that there kind of is this market right now that if it's being used correctly and tapped, it's popular with like Dungeons and Dragons-y type thing, like Arcane, Vox Machina, this. Like, there's this little, like, I don't want to keep saying Dungeons and Dragons because it's more than just that, but like that type of theme that
it's medieval fantasy.
Yeah, medieval fantasy. That's a good one. That
with a modern day flair.
Yeah,
like I'm obsessed when she goes metal.
Yeah.
I mean, all three of those, if we're just looking at all those three, all did really good. Like Arcane, I think got a second season, right? Vox Machina for sure got a second season.
Well, they're getting a spin-off too. They're getting the Mighty Nine next, which is their second campaign. So they're getting.
I didn't even know that.
How funny is it? And maybe it's not funny to people, fans of it, but how funny is it that Prime Video, that their the most popular and well-made fantasy show is Vox Machina over Lord of the Rings?
That's not surprising to me.
It's not surprising to me because the Critical Role fandom is like.
I'm not saying Lord of the Rings is bad. I'm just saying Vox Machina is better.
I think any animated show has potential to reach a wider audience than I think Lord of the Rings would.
Yeah, that too. Especially because if you don't watch the movies, I don't think you're going to be watching the.
Lord of the Rings confuses the crap out of me. I've tried so many.
We're talking about Nimona. We're talking about Nimona.
I can't do Lord of the Rings.
Sorry, my bad.
Another part of Nimona that I loved was how it talks about how like stories and history cross section and like how insanely different history could be from what really happened, and then cut to years later, people are basing their entire lives off of it.
Well, it's that one line in the movie, what if we were wrong?
What if we were wrong? Yeah. So I loved that aspect of
it. If you sit and look at it, there is a lot of like, what's the term?
Subtext.
Yes, there is a lot.
Oh, they had a lot to say. Yeah.
Yes, probably one of the most like outspoken subtext movies I've seen in a long time, and it was blatantly clear that they were doing it. Like the dumbasses that are saying like Barbie's trying to corrupt women into thinking men are evil, all those ones, that's a bunch of crock shit. Like that one's you're making it up. This one actually did do that in a good way. I'm saying, like, but it was clear, like, this is the message we are pushing, and a large portion of it was don't judge a person by their looks.
Yeah, in more ways than one. Yeah,
exactly. So like, it's funny because like you hear people freak out about like, oh, they're trying to push stuff on us, but no one's saying anything about that one. But like Barbie, they're losing their mind over. But I mean, it's funny because it worked though. It worked for the story. I think in many ways the story never like it. It looked like it for the whole time. It felt like it had a clear beginning and straight shot. Yeah, it never wavered at all. All the things that they were like, the hidden subtext that they were saying were all good things too. So it's like that. Like if you're an idiot if you don't agree.
Yeah, like the main character. Now I can't remember any of their names.
Val.
Yeah,
Val.
He kept asking the girl, "What are you? What are you?" And she's like, I'm me.
Nimona. Yeah.
I'm just me. I can be a girl at one moment. I could be a shark. I could be a whale. I'm just me. I'm Nimona. And like eventually he started to get it, and then they became friends, and it was like, yeah, it was really sweet message. And
I just realized one of the voice actors is from Pose. Oh, I loved her.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Watch Pose, unless you, that'll make you cry. Never mind.
Yes, everyone go watch Nimona.
Yeah, definitely check it out. It's a quick watch.
Yeah,
and a half.
It's a quick watch.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that like if you can't think of what to watch, you're just scrolling, can't find anything to watch. This is worth it.
But mascara warning.
Yes, mascara warning. Pop it on after you take your makeup off and you're all cozy in bed and you want to watch something real quick before you go sleeps. Nimona. It's great. Yeah. Although you might cry before you go to sleep, but at least your makeup is off.
I think it's still like a feel good story.
There's a lot of laugh moments too. Like it's a pretty funny movie.
It's great.
Well.
Oh yeah.
Like I will say, because it's been stuck in my head. Yeah. But the D-bag knight that was basically bullying Val the whole time. He has
Kyle,
a line in the movie.
Is that his name?
Maybe he has a line in the movie where he goes, "Be ready in case the whale shows up." And I just died for like 5 minutes. I could not.
I think his name's
laughing.
Diego.
Something. I could not stop laughing because it was like faintly in the background on what was happening. I was just like, oh my god. Oh,
It had such smart humor to it, like quick-witted humor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, go check it out, guys. If you're interested, if you want an animated movie to watch, it's on Netflix. It's available. It's very unknown at the moment. Let's make this thing the most popular thing out there. Go watch it. Go check it out.